Okay, can you all hear me? Shalom, salama, siemi, shalom. So greetings on this Q2UA Friday. So again, as I continue to struggle, my voice continues to struggle. Um, I wanted to first come on in here and say good morning to the family, wherever you're at around the world. Um, I got on in here late because I had to deal with a family situation earlier, and that really didn't allow me to do much to get my voice prepared. So please bear with me as I'm sipping on a warm drink to try to get my voice going. Because everything I had been doing has been very, upper throat area to saltwater gargles and things of that nature, because I hadn't been able to get teas and things prepared, obviously, this type of a morning. But yeah, now I'm starting to kind of clear things on how to actually maybe talk a little bit more. But um number one, starting off, this has been a week. This has been a week. Let me put my coffee down here. Okay. And with this week, a lot of things have been happening. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. That's what I try to prepare for before I go on live. All of the honking and talking up all this other stuff. Because yesterday I was told, Brother Karras, just relax, take it easy, don't try to use your voice that much. And that was a hour, over an hour discussion. I didn't have to use my voice that much, but what I had to do was to facilitate that discussion. And, when you are dealing with these types of just head colds and things of that nature, as I'm breaking the head cold, a lot of drainage and everything else is occurring. So yeah, so that also messes with the equilibrium and things of that nature. So pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting dynamic. But why am I, excuse me, why am I here um coming through this week even harder? And the question is actually very simple. And it's not a simple question, it's a simple acknowledgement of the condition that we're all at. I know that folks want to be overly religious, overly dogmatic. I get it. I know a lot of people to do that. They're, look, they're scared. The word says fear not. I can't, however you do that, however you interpret it, that's on you. But as I was making my appeals earlier this week, I was explaining the scenarios of this economy. Nothing is the same. And nothing will be the same again. And I know that it takes our people, because we're hard headed, we're stiff necked. It's going to take our people a lot of pain to realize that we have been in the best position to build up, to do the work, to understand that how the Most High has placed us in these positions. Because here's the thing, if you're going to be willing to donate into a medical supply container that makes its way to the continent, then you will be there to help with other efforts that support the building of our relationships. And those relationship builds always provides an opportunity of financial support. We're learning something new. We are learning how to play the game that we have been literally, virtually unlocked from. We're literally doing the game that these Fortune 100, 500, 1,000 companies do, and how they engage contracts, how they engage supporting and servicing the government. It's a service. This is the critical infrastructure. This is the economic development. Because they're going to tell you that, well, everything's going to be okay. And now, this morning, people are having mixed messages from the White House. Yeah, excuse me. A tariff deal was renegotiated with India from what, 27% to 26%? Because they know India's been eating America's lunch all day for the past 5 years. India knows that it is already poised to be the technology leader. China is the manufacturing leader. Russia is Russia is actually a military slash production leader for defense, while and BRICS Brazil and South Africa are the economic and manufacturing arms. This is how BRICS has been divided in its 5 pillars. Every other country is just falling in line in support of that column. Nothing is coming back to America. I know folks want to trust in mammon. I know, I get it. It's relaxing, it's comfortable. But understand right now, they can't do business in Europe like that. Excuse me. There we go. They can't do business in Europe like that anymore. Economically, because they're not going to make money. Why would I want to make money with the person that it's going to cost me more to make money with? Therefore, I need to look elsewhere. I'm looking towards the east. If I'm a European country, I'm looking towards the east. You sealed your deal. You sealed your fate. You made it easy for us to now retaliate because every economic relationship that always ends in blood. It always ends in war. It always ends in the conflict. Because why? Because now they have to tell the people this is why they don't do business with them because of how wicked they are and how this and how that. But they don't tell you that in before World War II, all of the business that America was doing with pre-World War II Germany. They don't tell you all that. But now all of a sudden, no, we never did business. We never, yeah, right. They were the premier ones. Nobody asked in all these Midwestern communities how come there were so many of those folks from Germany. And now that is a cutoff. They will cut off their own peoples. They will cut off their own groups. Have you noticed how these curses are reversing? And they are reversing rapidly. But as they have isolated themselves, we have been postured to work with our brothers and sisters on the continent. I'm sorry, family. But can you now see how much more important it is for a medical supply container, for a gift to go to our brothers and sisters? Can we not see how important that is? Even if you don't have the means, I'm assuming that if you can get on here and if you can hear from whatever device you're listening on, I'm assuming that you're able to communicate via an email or a text or a phone call to someone to support this mission. This is the mission of the ages. Separating yourself from Babylon to not partake in her curses. Gee, I wonder what those curses are looking like right now. And we have an opportunity when we have banded together during the Great Depression to financially succeed and exceed. And that's why they introduced all of these desegregated methods to really dilute our power. We've always been able to fight this fight. We've always had the tools amongst ourselves. We've always had. So really, we have no excuses. And now in the futures, as the Dow is tumbling around 1,000 points, because what can Trump really negotiate with a $40 trillion debt? He can't. He's selling you a false narrative. This was a liquidation day, not a liberation day. Well, you kind of, well, I guess he's right. You're going to get liberated from your wealth here in America. You're going to get liberated from your finances here in America. You're going to be liberated from your 401k, your savings here in America. Because why? Because these banks are not going to take a hit. What do you think's going to probably happen by the end of, I don't know, this afternoon? Oh, sorry. So sorry. Our systems are not available at this time. Surprise, surprise. And then when that happens, people are gonna be looking all shocked. Like, why did that happen? Why did that occur? Now they will bring it back online eventually, but then there's gonna be more stipulations. There's gonna be more updates to terms and policies. You all that up. And many of you all have lived on this plane way more than I have lived on this plane. And there's nothing new under this sun. But let me tell you, we have an opportunity. I can't even give you the link. If somebody wants to copy and paste that in the chat for the containers, the medical container initiative. Family, this weekend we have to tell our friends and our families. This weekend, it's not unlawful on the Shabbat to show somebody or text someone a link whenever you have time. Whenever you have time, at the minimum, $10. You know what's funny? I'm looking at a lot of the mainstream analysis, NBC News, MSNBC, CNBC, Fox News, Fox Business. They try to have a happy spin. And the reality is, you can't put lipstick on a pig and call it cute. You can't. But that's their reality. Of course, they're going to say everything is good as the ship continues to sink. I told you that Titanic frame of thought is always in use. You will have the band playing even to its death. They will still have the band playing even as they're sinking to their graves. They will still have the band playing. That's how they're built. That's how they operate. Foolishness and folly, they go hand in hand. Yeah, Zoomer Doomer. Hey, thank you, Brother God. This is why it's so important. I know our people look. Well, the thing is that we have to get out of the mentality of, well, somebody else will do it for us. Little folding of hands. Somebody else will do it for us. Somebody else has got us. Someone else, someone else, someone else. That's wickedness. That's folly. Spirit of laziness. I'm sorry. What'd you think was going to happen when all they packaged in the spirit of laziness was you can make more money off of these companies because these companies are going to do something so extraordinary that all of a sudden you're going to make money and they're going to pre-print more money? That was always folly. You print and then they're going to take back. That's how it goes. And now they're printing and we're awakened. And now this whole system was going to collapse. There's no taking back. Namibia just canceled visas for folks in the United States. They got to apply for visas. No more free visas. So guess what? They're cracking down. Why? Because I see who you are, and you're not going to be here doing stupid stuff. The sad thing is, it's probably going to affect a lot more of our people than their people because of how we like to operate in that folly spirit. And now it's catching up to them. Now it's catching up to them. As we have been stating time and time again. We always try to get through the back door. It's not how this works. It's always been a respect issue. And literally, our people lack respect. And respect is part of protocol. So, how can you then, how can you then ever be successful? And you want to know what that lack of respect is? That's lawlessness. And now everybody is, as the kids say here, they're going to get their lick back. You're not just going to get punched in the face and be like, oh, thank you, Mr. Trump. Appreciate that you punched us in the face, President Trump. Appreciate that you could, you know, have your support of vanity and in other cases, white supremacy. Yeah, Mr. Trump, we love that. Thank you, President Trump. Get out of here. They're living in their own delusion. Their delusion, their megalomania. Their gifts weren't gifts of respect. Their gifts were gifts of bribes to do what? To steal, to kill and destroy. Shalom, sister Darlene. Shalom, young lady. Can you hear me? You are on. You may be on mute.
Shalom, shalom, brother Cares and family. How's everyone? Don't
Well,
be
go
don't be
ahead.
surprised because I'm surprised I'm even on here. So um I just go ahead, brother Cares, and then I'll
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Listen, family. Less than a week ago, I was able to see Sister Darlene over there in the Geechee area swamps. Uh, you know it's true. You know it's true. I look like I was driving on a set of glory. I
Yes.
was like, where? Where's the 52nd Regiment at? Where's Denzel and Morgan Freeman?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I just want to say I'm getting off, but I just want to say a few things that it's just in my soul right now about how um I'm older and I remember segregation. I remember our communities being segregated, even up north and when I come to visit in the south. So I remember that our families, our communities were so tight because even though they were planning our demise, we stuck together as far as helping each other. You know, I remember my mother and my father or some take this to Mr. or Mrs. Jones or something, or give this to somebody. Even in the South, if you had a crop, you was gonna um share it with someone. And I'm understanding how they took us out of our communities. We got independent, and it's it's has really hurt us. It
hmm,
really hurt us to be independent. We can't the what I've been hearing twice this week is community and relationship,
hmm,
and getting that container over there is building a relationship, and
yes,
it's building a community. We cannot survive, and we're not going to survive here, but we cannot survive without coming together, um, and and being taking care of each other. Because if I
absolutely,
have, you have. And I just, this is not for my generation. I'm working on the next 4 or 5 generations. So
absolutely.
we don't fix this. You know, our children are um, having problems. They done been in this school system, and we're getting poisoned food. The air is
Hmm,
poison. Our brains are not working. Our
hmm,
bodies are deteriorating. And so my goal is not if I make it out of here or not. My goal is for, and my prayers to Yahuwah is that our next generation, you know, be able to survive. So that's all I'm gonna say, and I appreciate Q2UA appreciate everyone's donation, and that just coming together as a community. There's a lovely family in Q2UA. So please join us, and and we thank you. So okay, Brother Cares, I'm gonna get off here.
All right, thank you,
Okay.
sister. Thank
Okay.
you, young lady. Thank
Yeah.
you, young lady.
Okay. Shalom, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, so what Sister Darlene was saying, look, that's Ubuntu, right? Ubuntu. I am because you are. I am because you are. And in these times, being able to have the economic resiliency isn't just going to be, well, I'm going to go to work, yeah, and I'm going to show on up, and my job to be there. No, that's not going to be the case. We're now in a time that, look, a lot of people are going to be having a lot of long faces by the end of this day. And that's going to be really not just US wide, it's also worldwide. This is all from both sides of the Atlantic, the Pacific, uh, and other areas of the world. Thank you, appreciate it. All right. Brother Asaf has this person on up there reading through his comments. 'Cause I'm not driving. Not now. In a minute, I will be. China has just posted 34% tariffs on all American imports. So what does that do? China just slapped the US back. So what does that mean? They just doubled up. So now everything costs literally 68% more to produce the same good. And who's stuck paying that cost? Who is stuck paying the cost? It ain't the Chinese, it's stuck. I want you to see this. This is the decline in real time. I have this link. I have the link posted on out there. If folks want to jump on in, they want to chime in real quick. I got that on out there. Thought I did. I don't know how long we have. When people say, Brother Karras, how long do you think we have, Brother Karras? I'm going to tell you this. I don't know. I don't know how long we have. But I'm going to tell you this. If they just started this, they're trying to, number one, they're weakening positions, they're weakening economic vitality. They're weakening what you can do. How do you trade? How do you sell? How do you travel? And how do you communicate? You start something to do what? To start making sure that people have their stuff cut off. Cutting things off. The sickle is being cut off from the reaper. And that sickle, that cutoff is not very fun. This wasn't, the one thing about prophecy, I told you, I don't need to argue. I don't need to get into heated debates. You know, well, I believe me, believe me, believe. I don't need to say any of that. Don't need it. Don't need to. All I need you to do is just believe what's happening in front of your own eyes. Because look, you can lie to me all day long, but please do not lie to yourself. Don't do it. And a lot of people they actually don't like, they love to lie to themselves. So now, if it's going to cost more to do the same, what do you think is going to happen? There's going to be less of that supply, i.e., famine. Yeah, we don't like to hear that, but I'm still here in America. I don't want to hear about famine. I still have my 401k. I still have my retirement. I still plan on going on these cruises and these trips here in the summer. I have my summer travel routine laid out. I've been asking, listen, family, I understand how we have wanted and tried to hold on to the Babylonian manna, our mammon, and that's for most of our people. But I'm telling you, their dream is over. Nothing they do is a coincidence. So my thing is always and has always been this. Think about the timing and the time frame. My question is this. What are they trying to accomplish by the end of April? What are they trying to set up by the end of April? How are they trying to set that up by the end of April? What are they trying to set up by next week? Because trade wars get real wars started. It always takes them about a week to respond to things. Are they going to respond to Iran? I don't know. But I always say this. Probably not. Unless they see that stock market, I'm going to tell you this. Predictive analysis right here. Predictive analysis. If that stock market goes below 2,000 in a day, predictive analysis, 2,000 in a day, they will then strike Iran probably tonight. Because why? Because that will be the news story when the money supply gets cut off. Because you know that people will be pulling out their funds left and right. Is that likely? Yeah. Is it highly likely? Not really. But I'm throwing that on out there. It's always likely. It doesn't mean that it's highly likely. Oh, America got injured. Who's with us? Who's with us to help us fight back this axis of evil that's now headlined by Iran, China, and Russia? Do you see that now? Coalition of the Willing 2.0. Coalition of the Willing 2.0. Do you see that now? Because that's where they always wanted to go to. Don't be mistaken. They want to recolonize China. They want to recolonize Africa. They want to recolonize India. Don't think that they're not trying to calculate out this plan. It is a plan. It is a calculus. But in this plan, they didn't realize how we have the ultimate say so. And we truly do have the ultimate say so. Yeah. Yeah, Zoomer Doomer. Yeah, you be winning all day long just having short options. Look, I'm pulling for that to fall to this, that to fall to that, that to fall to this. Yeah, no, this is not going to fall overnight. It's not going to. But the collapse is a design collapse. But they really started the economic collapse in earnest less than two, or now less than 36 hours ago with the Liberation Day. Liberation. The American dream is so dead. Let me tell you this. The only jobs that are actually taken seriously are jobs that require you to travel overseas. For real. Here in America. Jobs that require you to travel overseas. Mm. So let me, as I'm wrapping this up, all I'm trying to say is talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors. You don't have to go that far in depth, but please just let them know that now is the time to really get serious about our engagements with our brothers and sisters on the continent. Now is that time. We have to get serious. We have to be serious. Exactly, Zoomer Doomer. Thank you. Zoomer Doomer says he's a Gen Z that's been working remotely overseas for the past year and a half. Peep game a while ago. Yep. My last job, and as a cybersecurity project manager, we were working with companies in the Philippines and China. We're getting ready to open up New or Australia. The jobs here in America is all about industry or service industry, not manufacturing. They can run the numbers and manipulate the numbers all they want. Now, just remember this before I leave, before I get going. Anytime they're in a financial crisis and free fall, For all those that want to support tomorrow's events on April 5th, anytime they're in a financial crisis or free fall, we are always the scapegoat. Please do not be their scapegoat. So, family, again, I'm pleading, but I'm really not pleading. I know the Most High is going to put it on our people's hearts. But I'm telling you, family, all you have to do is literally just open your mouth and see the Most High do wonders. Because honestly, we were made for a time like this. Literally, the pleading to help save our people actually goes out to our people. All the other games and shenanigans, oh yeah, people are paying attention right now more than ever as they're seeing their Robinhood and Coinbase and whatever accounts they have starting to hit the negatives and starting to turn red. So thank you, family. Thank you again for your support. We've had now around 50 folks donate. Those donations have been almost $10,000. There's 150 people here just within Q, the Q2UA arena. Imagine we got another 100 people. That could easily be 25, 30,000. If you don't have it, that's fine. Get out of your pride. Open your mouth and ask. You know that people forget that in Exodus. I'm going to have to bring that back up again. People forget that in Exodus. That the, the children of Israel went to their Egyptian neighbors to what? To spoil them. They literally had to talk to them and say, hey, what do you have? Come on. Thank you. Brother Garth has the link up. You can always navigate people over to the Q2A.org site. Q2A.org. At the top left, it says Donate 2024. At When you click on that, towards the bottom right, it has Medical Container Initiative. Yeah, but I wish I was at home. Understand what you're saying, but there was always a requirement for his people to move and to do. His people had to walk. His people had to get up on out of there. Heck, his people had to put blood on the doorpost. Can you imagine that you go to your neighbor's house after their firstborn done died? Let me run them pockets. They weren't just throwing the money out in the streets. No, they were going to them, spoiling them. This is what you get for messing with us. Give us everything you have so it can go well with you. Maybe you won't die the next day. Yeah, sorry, that was me being in my driving. So I got to get up on out of here and get to teach these young, bright faces. Everything we do, remember, Sister Darlene had stated, this is for our younger generation. It truly is. This is for our sons and our daughters and our grandchildren and their children. So I'm going to get up on out of here. I know Brother Garth will be pushing this also in a few at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please tune in to our brother. Family, I don't know about you, but we don't have time to waste. And really, honestly, the more I see this, it really shows a lot of the hypocrisy in the community when they want to try to cherry pick scriptures and not even actually read the scriptures. It's funny. It's funny. All right, but with that, I got to get going. All right, shalom, everyone.